Zambia to tell them about cervical cancer. Cervical cancer is something that is found in the vagina and in the stomach. It keeps on destroying everything in the vagina and in the stomach. Then at the end of it all, you end up dying. From that time, she again vaccination in case of
and cervical cancer survivor Delia Kaweche has encouraged women that the disease can be cured if detected early. The Association of Mine Suppliers and Contractors has expressed optimism that mining companies will this year award business to local suppliers and contractors. Speaking to Radio Ichengela News, Association President Costa Mwaba said the local suppliers and contractors have over the years built capacity in business. Mr. Mwaba, however, bemoaned what he called the tendency of awarding business to expatriates at the expense of the local people.
So what we want to see in 2022 is more business is given Zambian suppliers. And we are very convinced that our members have built capacity to carry out almost any buying activity. That is the case. We also have an example. Yes, we are buying our citizens of Zambians. We find citizens of Zambians. They are being honored. These are Zambians that they say they want to run it. They are running it. So, what is so difficult in trusting us Zambian suppliers and contractors? Who went to the mines and came out, maybe by way of redundancy or by way of retrenchment or by way of separation and establish businesses, and now want to provide the services to the mines.
And Mr. Mwaba has charged that most Chinese firms do not give business to the locals. He wondered why the mining companies in question have continued with the trend despite having a law that does not support such acts.
The Chinese mines, because they do business in China. And in this year, with the change of leadership in our association, we want to engage them on a very, very serious note. Because the act is very preferential, even Zambian suppliers and Zambian contractors. That's what the act says. So we want to engage them and see why they haven't been giving business to Zambians. And some of these firms will be seen as important, will be suing. We are very serious about it as an association. Those entities that do not give business to Zambians and we are with just cause will be paid. That is how if you want us to work and what they are.
Farmers on the Copper Belt have been implored to invest in livestock farming as the government laments over the low number of cattle in the region. Livestock and Fisheries Minister Makozo Chikote said government has since come up with artificial insemination sites to enhance the production of livestock in the country. Speaking when he paid a courtesy call on Copperbelt Minister Elisha Matambo today, Mr. Chikote, who is in the province visiting livestock and fisheries infrastructure, said livestock and aquaculture farming have a huge potential to contribute to the growth of the fisheries and livestock sector. Meanwhile, some Ministry of Livestock and Fisheries staff informed Copperbelt Minister Elisha Matambo that the construction of most livestock projects has stalled on the Copperbelt while some have started collapsing before even being commissioned. The officers who were part of the entourage said the Regional Lab and Artificial Insemination Center have not been commissioned for years after completion, and Copperbelt Minister Elisha Matambo said the province has lagged behind in terms of cattle rearing due to lack of information among farmers who have mostly focused on growing maize and soybeans.
Very few people understand the agriculture, how to keep animals and all that. Trying to understand the main the next few months.
Dola St. Matthias Mulumba Parish priest Father Hanky Kim says the construction of the 600 capacity church building at the parish is progressing well. Father Kim said the first phase of the project, which involves the putting up of the foundation and metallic pillars, is almost complete. Speaking to Radio Ichengelo News in Ndola, Father Kim expressed confidence that the project will be complete by August this year.
We finished the excavation first, and foundation, we contact with the concrete mixer, the company, concrete mixer company. But still, I think 3 stages. Now it's almost finished one stage. Second stage, because we are church is not like this. It's an old style. Our church is, the trust, iron trust, iron beam trust. So we bought 81 iron beams.
Father Kim is lobbying for funds for the church. I beg your pardon. Father Kim is lobbying for funds for the church project from his country of origin, Korea. The National Water Supply and Sanitation Council, NWASCO, has revealed that it has received a proposal from the 11 utility companies on the upward adjustment of water tariffs. NWASCO Director Calvin Chitumbo has since stressed that the council is yet to approve new water tariffs after consultations with customers. In a statement to Radio Chamberlain News, Mr. Chitumbo said NWASCO is cognizant of the need for access to safe and clean water, adding that tariffs adjustment was important for service providers to meet cost of service for water provision. He further said since 2020, tariffs for the 11 water utility companies have not been adjusted upwards despite the increase in electricity tariffs, among other things.
The council has received tariff adjustment proposals from the 11 utility companies which are yet to be approved after consultation with customers. The water and sanitation tariffs for all the 11 utility companies under NWASCO's mandate have not been adjusted since 2020 despite increases in the electricity tariffs and other input costs such as infrastructure development, purchase of chemicals, labor, resulting in the dwindling of income in the service providers, thereby negative inequality of service provision. Tariff adjustments are important for the service providers to meet the cost of service provision, sustainability, and viability.
And some residents of Kitwes and Ndeke Village Edge area have expressed dismay at the proposal by water utility companies to increase the tariffs. Speaking to Radio Chamberlain News today, the residents asked water utility companies to improve on water supply before proposing to increase the tariffs. Police have detained PF chairperson for information and publicity Rafael Nakachinda for allegedly using vulgar language against the Republican president. This is according to a media statement issued by police spokesperson Ray Onunga.
Police have warned and cautioned Rafael Mangari Nakachinda convicted for the offences of proposing violence, contrary to Section 91, subsection 1, paragraph C, and defamation of the president, contrary to Section 69 of the Penal Code of the Laws of Zambia. This is in relation to the utterances he made during his campaign trail in Chilenges and Poroto area between 16 and 12 January 2022. The recording, which went viral on various social media platforms, is alleged that the Republican president Hakainde Hichilema and his friends are planning to visit residents of Motoroto and build a shopping mall there. In the same recording, the accused is alleged to have used vulgar language against the Republican president. He has since been detained in police custody.
In sports, a former football referee Alderman Patrick Tembo has advised Zambians against demonizing Giannis Sikazwe because of the errors he made in yesterday's AFCON match between Tunisia and Mali. Sikazwe prematurely blew his whistle for full time before the 90th minute, and besides flushed a controversial red card and awarding 2 penalties in the match. Speaking in a telephone interview with Radio Chamber of Sports, Tembo says the 2 penalties and a straight red card were right cause. He, however, said the full actual match report will explain the details of what led Sikazwe to prematurely end the game twice.
It's unfortunate that the blood was being judged by people who are not qualified. Let's take the red card. There's also the referee that is given the ongoing job. But the player, the red card is for your game. Now, the only I'm doing, which is another reason myself, was the topic of the game. I don't know what went on. We have to take an action report to see what happened. Because the topic is the 15 minutes, one. But only to stop it again in the 90 minutes without added time. That would be good.
And retired veteran Kalulushi FIFA referee Cornelius Mwanza has supported Giannis Sikazwe, who has been criticized for making some questionable decisions in yesterday's AFCON match. Speaking to Radio Changalo Sports, Mwanza said the mistakes Sikazwe made as Mali beat Tunisia 1-0 were normal in refereeing. He also condemned Zambians for criticizing Sikazwe, who has in the past officiated at the FIFA World Cup. Meanwhile, some soccer fans in Kitwe have expressed mixed feelings over the way Giannis Sikazwe officiated the game at the ongoing AFCON tournament yesterday. Some fans said Sikazwe must be scrutinized and given a chance to explain what led to such mistakes at a big tournament. This news broadcast comes to you in the community service of Radio Chengelo with compliments of Moose Milling, and our international news is monitored from the BBC.
The court in Germany has given a life sentence to a Syrian former colonel for crimes against humanity. Anwar Ruslan was found guilty of mass torture and killings at a notorious prison in Damascus. He was detained 2 years ago in Germany, where he successfully claimed asylum. Jenny Hill reports. The 58-year-old was a high-ranking Secret Service officer who in 2011 was working for the regime of President Bashar al-Assad as it violently crushed anti-government protests. Ruslan presided over the brutal torture and killing of civilians who'd been detained at the notorious Al-Khatib prison in Damascus. Crimes considered so serious that they can be tried under the principle of universal jurisdiction outside of Syria in a foreign court. The ruling is significant, especially for those who survived Al-Khatib and have given evidence during the trial. The criminal court has now formally acknowledged that crimes against humanity were perpetrated by the Assad regime against its own citizens. Teachers in France have gone on strike in protest at the government's handling of the coronavirus crisis. Ministers have made keeping schools open a priority, despite a recent surge in COVID cases caused by the Omicron variant. Union leaders say around half of schools are closed because of the strike action. Soldiers from a Russian-led alliance have begun leaving Kazakhstan after being deployed there last week to tackle nationwide unrest. A statement from the Defense Ministry in Moscow said more than 2,000 troops had started to withdraw. Speaking at Kazakhstan's main city, Almaty, the commander of the troops, General Andrei Svertukov, said they performed well.
Soldiers standing in a joint formation, shoulder to shoulder, who stood up for the defense of the fraternal Kazakh people, not allowing criminal and terrorist groups to encroach on the constitutional order and integrity of Kazakhstan.
That item brings us to the end of our main news. The headlines once again. Women encouraged to go through cervical cancer screening. Invest in livestock farming and do not demonize Janice Casway. Friends, for this and more stories, you can visit our Facebook page. Log on Facebook and like the Radio Ichengelo page and link to radioichengelo.radio12345.com. Remember to play a part in the fight against the coronavirus pandemic by adhering to the safety guidelines as outlined by the Ministry of Health and the World Health Organization. Wear a mask when in public. Wash your hands frequently for at least 20 seconds. Remember to cover your cough or sneeze with a flexed elbow, handkerchief, or tissue. And if you can, you take the vaccine. On behalf of the entire news team, Constance Kalunga, our sound technician on duty, my name is Justina Matandi Konkuka. Thank you for joining us.